The next topic for discussion is aliases in C++. So what is aliases? What is an alias? A person might have a multiple names to call them actually. For example, I am called as Shri at my home. I might be called as Sriram at my office. To my friend, I might be known as Chris. So likewise, a person might have multiple names to represent it. If a variable can be represented by multiple names, if an address is called by so many names, that is called as aliases. This support is provided in C++ and it's useful at many points in time, professionally when you use it in industry. You see the simple code here which I am showing in the presentation now. I have a variable by name x which has an integer 5 into it, and now I assign address of y with x, which means the variable x is also called as y, or the y is an alias name for x. The address of x is represented by name y also. I mean, whatever the content x has, I am representing it also with y. So for example, if I modify the content of y, it will reflect the modification in x also. Y equal to y plus 1 when I do, the modification will be reflected also in x. So when I print x, it should be changed. This is referred to be as alias naming. The original variable in x is something like 15 that I had. The reference variable is also 15 after I assign it here. And when I modify the value by incrementing it to 1, y is getting 16. The reflection of the modified value should happen here, and it is also 16. Now let us print the address of both the variables that we use. I mean both the names that we use, x and y, they are also the same. When I print ampersand of x, it says that the address is 22FF74, and when I print y, it says that 22FF74. So it says that both are the same. So it is just calling an address, it is just naming an address, representing an address by two different names. This is one of the important features in interview questions to be known with respect to C++. Let's go to the next point. Call by value, call by reference. The readers must have been aware of it because this is such a simple and such a powerful question that is consistently being asked in all the interviews and all the exams. What is call by value? What is call by reference? I need not explain this much. I will spend a little time here because I am going to take this example to explain the polymorphism concept, which is going to come little later. So I am just going to give a glimpse of what is it. So what is call by value? I give you a paper. I am asking you to make a Xerox copy of the paper or photocopy of the paper. You make it. Now I have a paper which is original with me, and you have a paper which is copy of the paper. If you have to make change in the copy, you can make. Will it reflect in the original paper? It won't. This is call by value. When I pass the argument and when I catch the argument as a copy, the changes that I make in the copy that I receive will not be reflected in the original copy. Whereas if I go by call by reference, I am passing the address. What do you mean by address here? It's pretty simple. I am giving you the paper. I am not asking you to make the copy of the paper. Instead, I am giving you the paper itself. I am telling you where the paper is residing. So when you make the change in the paper that I give you, that will obviously impact the original source, which means you are making the change in the original source itself. I am passing the address to you. I am passing the address of where the paper resides. So when you pass address, the changes will be reflected. When you are passing the copy, the changes won't be reflected. Let's see a small example. I am going to swap two integers. I have a equal to 1 and b equal to 2. I am calling the function swap of a and b. So now here swap call int x and y. So here I am passing it as a and b, but here I am collecting it as x and y, which means I am collecting the values, I am collecting the copies of the values. So this a and b will remain a and b even after the swapping has happened. So I swap it here, I now print it. See the output, value before swapping 1 and 2, value after swapping 2 and 1, and value after swapping in the main function. I go here, it is 1 and 2 still. I didn't have a change there. But call by reference is something different, where I pass address of x and address of y. When I pass this, I should collect it in the ampersand. So I collect it in address of A and address of B. So now the address is collected. If I swap the content, the content that is in the address will be reflected. The values before swap 1 and 2, the values after swap 2 and 1, the values after swap in the main function 2 and 1. This is one of the very important questions from interview point of view. That's why I spent about 2 minutes here. Please make sure you understand it. Polymorphism. What is polymorphism? Poly is many, morphing is changing. Poly is many, morphing is changing. I am going to change the face of one particular person. I am going to give him a mask and I am going to make him appear as such he is multiple personality. He is so many persons. I am changing a face of one thing to get a look of multiple things so as to achieve many things and many targets. This is my aim. So what is function overloading? What is operator overloading? Polymorphism is many. I am having one thing, I am changing the face to get many. This is what polymorphism is all about. I am going to keep function overloading as the primary target first. I'll tell you what it is. I'm going to use the same program that we have seen a little earlier for understanding the concepts of call by reference and call by value. What is function overloading? In C programming, you cannot use the same function name for defining two different functions. You cannot use the same function name for defining two different functions. If you do that, it is illegal. I am trying to do function overloading in C here. See that I am writing a function for swapping two integers and swapping two float numbers. Int a equal to 1, b equal to 2, float c equal to 1.9, d equal to 1.22. I am now trying to call the function swap function overloading a and b. I name the function as the same case. I mean the name of the function is the same one. Swap example function overloading, swap example function overloading. But the arguments that I pass to both the functions are different. Though the arguments are different, it is illegal. I cannot have same function name for so many functions. So now I pass a and b to this. This should be caught here. C and d, this should be caught here. But this won't work that way as we expect. Previous declaration of swap example function overloading was found. Conflicting types of swap function overloading. So it assumes that or it understands that we have tried to redefine or redeclare the functions that we are using in the code, which is illegal. So in C programming, you cannot use the same function name multiple times. You will have to name it with a different name each and every time. And naming is one of the tedious tasks in programming because it takes a lot of time to think and keep a proper name. So to avoid this, function overloading concept has come in C++, which permits you to keep the same name for so many functions as you want. But the only thing is you need to have the arguments as different one. Once the arguments are unique, all the arguments that you pass are unique, I can keep the same function name for as many number of times I want. The same code is presented here. Only thing that I have done is I have used C++ syntaxes. So that's it. Now see the result. I got the result. Values stored in A and B is 1 and 2. Values after swapping integer 2 and 1. Values stored in A and B is 1.99 and 1.22. Values after swapping float 1.22 and 1.99. So what do you understand from this? C++ compiler is brilliant enough to just fetch the correct function or just call the correct function, not based on the name. It is based on the arguments that are passed. For example, if I have a function by name Sachin, if I pass integer to it in the first attempt, if I pass float to it in the second attempt, both are not the same. The compiler will be able to compiler will definitely be able to scrutinize which is float and which is integer. So it will be brilliant enough to call that corresponding function and to handle the situation. So I overload the function name so many times as long as I want and as many times as I want, and it is permitted with respect to C++. This is called as function overloading. This will reduce the effort of the programmer to keep so many names and so many clumsy names for the functions, which is definitely a tedious task, and it is avoided in this case. And the next point to understand is operator overloading. I'm going to give this as an assignment to you since I have already taught you how to write the code for function overloading. I am giving you an assignment on operator overloading. It is your responsibility as of now to try on what is operator overloading. I'll tell you what is overloading, what is operator overloading. You can try that probably with some examples. 5 plus 3 is 8. Shri plus Ram is Shri Ram. The plus in the case of 5 plus 3 is an addition operator. The plus in the case of Shri plus Ram is concatenation operator. How did one operator perform multiple roles? It is called as overloading. C out less than arrow. It is called as redirection operator. It is performing an operation of output operator in that case, and when I use it for less than or greater than operation, it is performing an operation in that way. So how did it perform? We can overload one operator for multiple purposes. There are certain operators which you cannot overload. There are certain operators which you can overload. So I leave it to you as an assignment to give a try on how does it work out. So it is going to be an interesting exercise. So make sure you try it. We will give some references and pointers towards understanding it at the end of the section as it is an assignment.